that energy mixes with the quantum knotting of intelligence to form a sort of metaphysical glow around you. Normal humans cannot detect this. People with cryptid sight look upon you with more respect.
So looking over all this carnage before me, all I see is someone who has no idea how to perform standardly comment. You are a fool. Get out of this arena.
Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, another day with another vlog where I'll be struggling to hit 100 views. Thumbs up for that. Good morning. I don't do this for views, obviously. I mean, I'd like to have a lot of people watch. I do this primarily for my mental health, and thank you everybody that tunes in. Oh, I'm a boomer. For watching, and it is greatly, greatly appreciated. I, of course, would like to entertain absolutely everybody who does watch. So there is that, but it's also, I started up the channel so that I could, live after the death of my wife, and so I am. And it continues to keep me alive. That's why I do it. It'd be nice if I got the views that I got back in the past, but I don't. Life is life. Thumbs up for that. And of course, front loading of YouTube videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, thumbs up for that, that'd be very cool. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. I am on unlimited disability income, and because of that, I am barely surviving in the world financially. I cannot work. And without these people, I would be hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. If you'd like to help me stay alive, links to the Patreon are in the video description, wherever that happens to be for the device you're watching. And hey, front loading of YouTube videos are over. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, so yeah, I've been surviving, and that's good. And oh boy, it's gotten a lot warmer. I'm having to move my fan that I have out in the hall there. So when I'm not recording, stuff like that, I open up the door, and then there's just a flow of air from inside the house with the fan out in the hall and the wide open window that I have 365, 24/7, 365, yeah, for ventilation. So thumbs up on that. There's a mineral oil in the denture cream I use, and so you get this oily stuff that goes sliding all around, and ick. But still, I need to go this next payday and grab some fans so that I don't die of heat over the summer. I mean, I'm having problems now, and it's only hitting like 50s and 60s. Gotta love that. Still though, surviving, and that is good. Slept last night surprisingly well, a very good thing. And I am feeling, except for a little bit of soreness, primarily right on this one, and it's only a little, or I wouldn't be going like that. Right on top of it, I feel pretty good after the vaccinations. Thumbs up for that. And of course, with my ADHD, look, there's my GameCube on the bottom shelf, hidden behind my arm. I just wanted to point that out. Every single day when I'm feeling good, I go through and I rearrange my shelves here, and I change the little thing there. So, thumbs up for that. Not a whole lot has happened since, I did my vlogging and such yesterday. I did a dusk recording, I edited, I watched videos, I played games, and then I went for walkies, and then I came home and watched more videos and went to bed. It was a lazy day, and it was a little bit too warm. So it's going to be fun. Like I say, it's only in the 50s and 60s, so that's why I got to get some more fans. Oh, by the time it gets really warm, I need to have a fan in the window. I need to have another fan that will be blowing toward that fan. Because, number one, I need to have something there to keep the bugs out, number one. But this one person found out, I watched a YouTube video on this, where he decided to figure out which one moves more air and cools your room down better. Putting the fan in the window, or putting it a couple meters away from the open window and blowing. And you know what he found out? Putting it further away from the window actually works better. So I want to have one in the room to blow stuff toward the window, and then blow the stuff outward further. So I just need to get like 2 box fans or such. Yay. Still though, whether or not it's warm or such is just life. Hopefully I'm going to be able to survive and such till the end of the month. I have, I think, just enough money to buy one more box of cat dirt for my kitty cat's litter box, and then I'm broke. I've got like $15 to buy food with on my food stamps card, so I've got to be very, very careful because it's over a week until my next payday. So yay on that. Oh well, life is life. Hey, if you'd like to help me out, there is a PayPal link where you can send some help because, oh boy, do I need it. But I have still been trying to be as creative as possible and still thinking about my project. It's a lot harder to pull together now, and the odds of success have fallen because I'm no longer medicated for my ADHD. So it's hard to think, and I can't take advantage of a lot of things. But, as stated, still working on a lot of things. One of the things that I work on is all the cryptid stuff. And though I have stated, because I know, making a sympathetic anti-hero type character can be rough, especially if your anti-hero character is pleasant, but the things they have to do aren't, like James Bakir, who was Jimmy Lane Baker until their extra universal chromosomes expressed and they became a cryptid. And their life changed forever. And unfortunately, bad things happen. One of the characters that I've been talking about is David Ilea Ortega. There are a lot of like Central American type and like Spanish, Mexican type names, very common from the outside names on the razor's edge. There's always a mix from names from the inside, just indigenous names from the razor's edge, and then stuff that comes in from the inside, well, the outside where we are. But for some weird reason, at this time, a lot of the names like Ortega and Da Silva are very common on the razor's edge. Nobody has, except of course those people that come from the outside and move in, where we have the distinct racial backgrounds, but on the inside and on the razor's edge, your skin color, your accent, anything from the way you look, it is not a part of where you come from. There is too much craziness, and a lot of it is not linked to anything that would be expressed as, oh, we evolved our ancestors on this type of thing. Well, you come from a mountainous area. You didn't come from a seaside area. And you look like you come from plains, and you sound like you come from, the sea, and it's just, you can't. So, there's also the cryptids. And the cryptids are, with the cryptid energy, it can be unpleasant for them because there's cryptid programming you get when you become one of the cryptid archetypes. And unfortunately for the cryptids, a lot of the cryptid archetyping is just primarily because of human thought, human intelligence, grinding stuff in as it happens, unfortunately, with power, repetition, and stuff just becoming a part of. So there are archetypical things about these various cryptids that they have no choice of. And your programming for that is either going to be very light, just a touch, or extremely heavy, where you're not even really a person inside there anymore. You're just a machine running through the checklist of how you're supposed to act. And that's really unfortunate. But one of them, David Ilea Ortega, again, I've been wondering and trying to deal with exactly what kind of cryptid that this person was, because they find out that they are in fact a cryptid. They left their home on the razor's edge at the age of 14, a very, very pleasant parting, and is in constant contact with their phone with their parents. But for 15 years they were just wandering until they became friends with James Baker, who becomes James Bakir. Jimmy Lane Baker becomes James Bakir because they're not Jimmy Lane Baker anymore, but they're not something else because they still got Jimmy's mind. So you're... But I tried to figure out exactly what kind of cryptid he was. And Daff, which of course is the nickname for this particular spelling of David, D-A-P-H-I-I-D, is of the wandering stranger type of archetype. Now, I've mentioned that he's also a very virulent cryptid type because the subset of wandering stranger, urban legend type cryptid that Daff is the virulent wandering stranger serial killer cryptid. Whenever this type of cryptid blows into town, sure, they're pleasant, they're nice, but bodies start stacking up. And when they leave, it may be anywhere from a mound to a hill to a mountain of corpses behind them. And then they leave and go somewhere else, and, well, the bodies start piling up again. But Daff's nature is not to do that sort of thing. Daff didn't even realize that he'd become a cryptid when he was 12 years old. Very healthy child. One day had a bad attack of the sniffles, and that night slept harder than he normally did. That was it. That was the big thing. When James Baker, went and became a cryptid, he went into a coma for a week, was hospitalized. And Daff didn't even know, just thought he had a cold. And it was only when, at like age 27, hanging around with James Baker, that he falls asleep in a drunken stupor in the snow and wakes up half buried in snow, ice not melting on him, but he feels fine. And he sure shouldn't. And it's like, oh, I guess I am a cryptid after all. Because a wandering stranger, well, they need to sleep somewhere, don't they? But again, he's not that kind of bad individual. So yes, he wandered our world talking to various cryptids and befriending them without realizing why he could. He's a cryptid with this cryptid site. Of course he can. And it's not in his nature to kill. He's just a happy and friendly individual. He can interact with absolutely everyone and all cryptids because his cryptid nature sees everyone as a potential victim. Cryptids that have to kill, and most don't. Most cryptids have no problems just hiding, not being bad individuals. When they do interact and do things, you can just lose objects or memories. Very, very bad ones might take a finger, or you lose a limb. It's very, very few of them that kill. And when you do, there's a limit. You might only kill 2 or 3 times a year. There are some that kill often, up to once a month. Daff's wandering cryptid serial killer type can kill twice a day. But no, Daff don't do that. That's just not in his nature. He just used his abilities as a cryptid without realizing that he was using his cryptid abilities to wander the world and talk to people and befriend others. On the other end, there are regular human beings that have their extra universal chromosomes triggered, get their cryptid sight. Just like with the regular sight, these people can have just enough that they barely see things to very high. Now, if you have a very high cryptid sense, that energy mixes with the quantum knotting of intelligence to form a sort of metaphysical glow around you. Normal humans cannot detect this. People with cryptid sight look upon you with more respect, more awe. People notice when you enter the room. Cryptids see this and they're fascinated by it. It's very pleasant. It's a pleasant thing to be around. And people with this are very pleasant to be around, according to the cryptids. They like this aura coming off of other people. And not only that, it's very calming and pacifying. Even if Daff was really leaning into his whole cryptid nature, he would not hurt anyone that had this. He would just sit and talk. These people can speak to others, like even Rayla, who harvests femurs to make her crown of femurs to begin her, periodic reign of terror. Even she would not harvest the femurs of anyone with a cryptid sight that has that metaphysical glow. It is very calming, very pleasing. There is one person who does run a database of cryptid knowledge in the world. They use a lot of computer stuff because in their early days they traveled the world and befriended a lot of cryptids because they could. Just a regular human being with, in the United States, one of the very highest, and in the world, one of the top 10 cryptid sense owners. They run the database and they network and get the information for cryptids, and all this stuff, of course, uses cloud services and cloud storage with Redline Communications from the Crimson Kingdom, but they don't know that. But oh boy, the Crimson Kingdom stuff is really, really just perfect for their uses. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and even though there is so few people, it's going to take like 5 seconds to get through the list. Thank you, each and every one of you, for having left a comment. It is greatly appreciated. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've seen my brain even as I've been talking here. Oh, once again, I left this on Twitter. Huh. Okay, we have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you, and goodness gracious, Andrew Holschult, who does the video game music for Dusk and Others, is awesome. And then I'm Not a Cop, thumbs up and thank you. Phoenix 2022, greatly appreciated. There is Ben B, that is a good idea. And Son of a Gun, there we go. I think it took 5 seconds to talk to the 4 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours on my 2 videos. Thumbs up, it is appreciated. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a very short time, and in text. And of course, I always forget now where this goes, and I hate the way my brain functions like that. But I don't know what device you're watching this on, but wherever you are, there's a video description for the video. Inside I have links to all of my channels, as well as my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and an itchy nose. I got whiskers off my lip that tickle my nostrils. But I would again like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people really are literally beautiful and literally awesome. I am greatly appreciative. I like being alive, and I know that my pets like being alive, and so it is greatly, greatly appreciated. I cannot remember when I put my hands up. Probably about that. So each one of these people, thank you. And if you'd like to help me out, the links are in the video description. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. If you'd like to help me out without being financial aid, I have an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food on it. So if you could check that out, that'd be awesome. Don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. But I do take all good wishes and deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence, and if you can get the notification bell, that'd be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, hokily smokily, what am I going to do today? What are my big plans? Well, I'm going to continue trying to think creatively, of course. I'm going to play various video games. My thoughts are 1,000 ping pong balls in a wind tunnel, so I'm back to playing things sporadically and loosely and trying not to just hyper-focus. And I hope you get to do whatever you would like to do. Just remember, no matter what you do, if you can't do the things you would like, it's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end, including our lives, including our civilization, including our planet, including our sun, our galaxy, the universe. Everything is transition. Nothing matters. If you can't do it, don't beat yourself up. So, I do want to say this one because even though infections and deaths are downward trending, still tens of thousands of people daily are getting sick from the covfefe bug, and thousands of people are dying every day. So please be cautious, be careful, be smart, take your precautions, get vaxxed, get boosted. Please don't be a statistic. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I think that's a very good idea. I mean, I hope you do too.